tip of the medical spear at Nordic Naturals. You were really the lead voice, and all of the other medical and scientific advisory team honored your background and respected you and followed you. And you published a paper, a landmark paper in 2011 in the Journal of Clinical Psychiatry, the first paper ever on military suicide, which everybody needs to read. So as not only a clinician, but as a primary author on a seminal paper, I'd like you to just share your thoughts on the landmark paper that Zinzino just published with 590,000 samples. Just share your thoughts on our most recent contribution to the literature.
Well, for those who are not aware, this paper was published just a few weeks ago from when we are talking now. And it really is a culmination of the data that's been collected between Zinzino and Vitas Analytical Services, one of the leading laboratories in Oslo, Norway, and all of Europe, actually. And Vitas has done over 2 million dried blood spot tests, 1.5 million of those being omega-3 tests, or the fatty acid panel. And so they didn't just take 1.5 million tests and look at the data and say, here's what we're seeing. What they did was they very carefully walked through the inclusion, exclusion criteria of who should be looked at, and so that trying to eliminate duplication and other things, and that's how they got down from 1.5 million to just over 500,000, which is very important because you want the data to be robust, not just big. Anybody can do big, but doing it right is really important. And what it really goes back to me, it almost really digs up some almost really a painful memory for me. When we published the 2011 paper on suicide, I found myself in the Pentagon briefing a 4-star general that was looking at military suicide. And I told him, and I'll give you the really short version, is I told him, you cannot mandate soldiers to take omega-3s. And he goes, why not? I'm a 4-star general, and I'm like, you can't, because that 19-year-old private's going to complain to their mother, is going to complain to the congressman, who's going to complain to you, and then it's all derailed. I said, but what you can do, remember, this is 2011. I said, what you can mandate, what you should do, is test everybody. And that message got lost. So for me, it's almost like this cathartic explanation of what I knew back in 2011 of what we should be doing and testing and what we could do and the value of the data that we can get from that.
Thank you, Dr. Lewis. Dr. Kim?